Good evening. The old man here. November 20th, 2024. Well, deer season's well on its way. Of course, we're getting some rainy weather. Guys are stopping by the shop. Of course, everybody's kind of crying on account of the weather. Well, I've heard from a few guys that cold weather's coming in from up north. This morning, one guy was in Alpena and said they had a couple inches of snow up there, and by the time he got back here, he was pushing snow, or not snow, but freezing rain and sleet most of the way back. But before he got to the Midland area, Midland, Auburn, Bay City area, by the time he got back there, we were kind of back to normal, just rain. But yeah, it's coming. And the good news about that cool weather coming, I start looking forward to them comfort foods like chicken soup. So today, Sue made a from scratch homemade chicken soup from one of the roosters we butchered on Sunday. And oh my God, it's been a while since I had a homegrown rooster and for soup. And man, was that good. That was really good soup. She made homemade noodles too. Yeah, I know that's not exactly on my diet, but mostly staying away from sugars and that ultra processed foods. Taking it real light as far as it comes to eating carbs, but occasionally we'll let it slide a little bit. Not too much though. Been really doing good with the diet, feeling good, breathe better, walk better, joints aren't aching, doing pretty good. Watching a lot of YouTube videos again lately on gold and silver, and most of these guys, since we're in a little bit of a slump, you might say, they're like, "Oh my God, is the bull run over? Silver going to take another dive? Blah 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 blah." Well, the fact of the matter is, silver ain't done nothing. I went and looked at my stack this afternoon, and that silver looks exactly like it did the other day. One thing about having physical silver in your hand, you're not tempted to dump it on a moment's notice. You have time to think about it and realize that it's all basically a pony show. The big thing was coming up to the election, a lot of uncertainty whether Kamala was going to get elected or Donald Trump was going to get elected. So honestly, quite a few guys moved out of stocks and other investments, and they were speculating on the paper gold and silver. The day after the election and Trump wins, and they thought, oh my God, the bull run on stocks is on again. Dump this silver, paper silver and paper gold, and let's get back in the stock market. She's going to rip. Well, that's all well and good until it don't. I don't know how long that's going to be, but looked at price to earnings ratios on any of these stocks, and oh my God, it's just ridiculous. I looked it up, some of the stats this morning. The normal price to earnings ratio is somewhere around the 20 to 26. That's a good company, paying good dividends, good value investment. However, most of these companies, or I should say a lot of these companies, their price to earnings ratio is up in the 40s and 50s. Just totally ridiculous. There's no deals there. You're paying big money for a stock that's not going to pay you shit for dividends. That just doesn't make sense. It's not a good investment at all. You're paying too much money for a stock, hoping that someday in the near future somebody's going to pay you too much money for that stock and more money than you paid for it. And you're going to make your gains on the difference in that. That's all well and good if you pull it off. The problem is you can never time the markets. You're always thinking, well, there's more upside, there's more upside, there's more upside. You hold on, you hold on, you hold on. The next thing you know, you're riding that son of a bitch right to the bottom. The wiser move in that case would be to, when you think the price to earning ratio is about as high as it's going to get, but you're not sure if you should get, let go or not yet. It's not always all in and all out. There's nothing wrong with taking profits and selling 20% of that stock. And then, wait a week or two or maybe a month, depending on how things are going, and reevaluate. If the price to earnings ratio is even higher than it was when you sold the last 20%, maybe it's time to sell another 20%. And at the end of the day, when the bitch crashes, maybe you only got 20 cents left or 20% left of those stocks. And you'd be thanking God you got out of them when you did. But if it's still going up, you're thinking, well, hey, I'm making profits all the way up. Just keep hanging on until it's gone. By that time, you can just about bet she can't go much farther. The fact of the matter is, in these stocks, you keep seeing the prices go up. Well, is it really the prices going up, or is it the value of the dollar going down? I venture to guess that a lot of it is the value of the dollar going down. It's just like gold and silver. My gold and silver, like I said, it looks exactly the same as it did this morning, as it did this afternoon. I see no difference, okay? But the price is always going up and down, up and down. Is it? No, it ain't doing shit. Not on that physical dollar or physical gold and silver. Now, maybe the paper markets are going up and down. Sure they are. But on a physical silver, that silver ain't done nothing. In fact, it ain't done nothing in thousands of years. We just happened to dig it out of the ground, concentrate it, and now I got it sitting in storage somewhere. It ain't doing shit. That's the beauty of it. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going up. It's not going down. I've got a store of value. I can always trade in the future for something else that I think I need or want, or maybe I find something else that maybe at that time I feel gold and silver is overvalued. And if at that time I need to trade it for something that's undervalued, maybe that might be land someday. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it'll be NVIDIA stock. When NVIDIA stock, the price to earnings ratio is down around 10 or 12. Because when it crashes, it goes way past where it should. And maybe at that time I buy NVIDIA stock, or, you never know. You never know where it's going to go, what's going to be undervalued at the time, But when you feel that your gold and silver stock is overvalued, and the time to know when it's overvalued is when grandma's coming to you and saying, hey, gold and silver's going to the moon. It's time to buy. It's time to buy. Well, when she's telling you that means the narrative in the propaganda machine has got to the last level, and it's time to sell, not buy. Americans are famous for buying high and selling low. It's what they call in the industry, they call dumb money. And the smart money got out of stocks long before, and they just let the dumb money buy up the slack. That's all there is to it. Right now, you take Berkshire Hathaway and them guys, they're, what the hell is it? Something like $300 billion in stocks between American, what's the name of that bank? Can't think of it at the moment, but that's okay. It'll come to me. And his Apple shares, they're getting rid of them. Billions of dollars worth of Apple shares. What does that tell you? Well, to me, that tells me, and I looked it up this morning, and sure as shit they are, they're overvalued. Their PE is way high. I don't remember the exact figures, but it seems to me it was somewhere in the 50s, 50-to-1 ratio, PE ratio. It's crazy. In fact, it's super easy to look it up. All you got to do is ask Google. Google will tell you. Not a big deal. Get an idea where them guys are at and why, he's saying that there's no value. There's no value in stocks out there right now. That's why he's selling what he's got. He feels it's at the top or near the top. And he's going to pull back and he's going to wait for shit to go on sale. And what does that mean? Well, that means when stocks come way down, and that day's coming, I do believe. I think you're also going to see the bond market crash. And when that happens, boy, let me tell you, between the bonds and the stocks crashing, and housing's on its way too, That's not going to be a fun day, and that's where prep come in. You're going to need that food and that water prep. You're going to need some extra gasoline around so you can do something until they get shit figured out. Probably won't be enough, but at least it's better than nothing. You know, you're not sitting out there in a car on E and the pumps aren't working. You're not going to have many choices at that point. But if you got 5-10 gallons of gases around and your truck's filled up full of gas, well, at least you know you need to take it easy for a while, but you can do a few things in the meantime. So, you know, keep working on your stack. Don't worry about whether the price is going up or down. In fact, pretty much the only time I worry about price is when I'm ready to buy more, and I'll see what the spot price is, and then I can see what I can, you know, what kind of value I can find. Of course, I'm always looking for the best deal. So I start looking for the best deal when I'm ready to buy. In the meantime, once I take that gold and or silver into my possession, I don't care. That's a forgotten stack. That's put away. I really don't care what it cost me. I've converted dollars to precious metals or God's money, and I'm just not going to worry about it. I don't need to worry about it. I know it's safe. It's not going nowhere, and it's always going to have value. That's the main thing. It's a steady value. It's going to buy the same basket of goods in the future as it did in the past, where fiat money is always losing value. And what do I mean by fiat money? For those that don't know, maybe it's a term you're not familiar with. Fiat money refers to the fact that it is backed by absolutely nothing. There's nothing backing our system. And that's the problem. That's why things have slid so much in the last 70 some years. Since 71, what I meant to say. And that's why we're going backwards. It just doesn't make sense. The federal government and the feds can just keep stealing your wealth and you don't realize it. And again, if you think, you know, gold and silver is volatile, especially silver's going up and down all the time like a damn yo-yo, well, your dollar's actually is the one going up and down like a yo-yo. You just don't see it. They managed to keep it hidden from you. You know, over time you realize, well, damn, that basket of goods cost me this many dollars last year, but this year it's costing me a third more, or 25% more than it did last year. Yep, that was your dollar going down. You just didn't see it until the compounding of the inflation gets to the point where it's noticeable. Like I said here a few years ago, I believe it was 22. They claimed the inflation was 9%. Hell, it was more like 20%. Shadow stats saying that it was more like 18%. If you go back to figuring it the way they did in the 70s. So even that, I'm sure, was corrupt, but a lot better figuring then than it is now. Now they just completely, the figures are all lies. You know, the old saying of liars don't figure, or figures don't lie, liars figure. Well, our government's nothing but a bunch of, and bankers, as far as that goes, ain't nothing but a bunch of goddamn liars. So at any rate, I will call it a night. Wish you guys a good night. Like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. Thank you. Bye.